Hello, welcome to Rock Studios. My name is Gurvin Kaur and I am the APAC Content Lead. And today joining me is Marcelo Tarkieltaub. He is the Regional Director for Southeast Asia here at Rockwell Automation. Hi Marcelo, how are you?
Hi Gurvin, happy to be with you.
Yeah, we're so happy to finally have you here
That's
with
true.
us in the studio. So today we'll be discussing on the state of manufacturing here in Southeast Asia. And this is a very interesting sub-region, right? Because there are different countries with different levels of maturity in terms of the economy, their development, and on the manufacturing spectrum. Each of them focuses on different industries. But during your discussions with these companies, do you see any common overlaps on the challenges they're facing right now or the opportunities they see?
Gurvin, what you mentioned is totally right. Each of the companies and customers in the region are in different moments of their journey in the digital transformation. So it's really a unique moment because the countries are in different moments and the companies within those countries are also going to different moments of their transformation. I think the key common part we see, one is from the good way, the other one more on the challenging side. The good part is that 100% of the customers, we sit down with the senior leaders of them, they want to take action and take advantage of digital transformation. The other common part, or more on the negative side, most of them don't know what to do. And that's a very common problem, despite being in different, even in more mature markets or less mature industries, we see the same process of, we want to do something, we know we need to do it, we need to do decarbonization, we need to be working on those things, but they don't know what to do and how to do. How do I start that journey? That's the most. It's a big thing. It's important. Capital, money is still important, right? So you want to invest money in the right bets and making sure you know what you're doing. And some customers we're so excited about getting started. They invest money and they realize they didn't get the return on investment, not because the technology was not right, but it's just they bought a technology for the sake of the technology. And that digital transformation is not about it. Digital transformation is use of technology to bring value, to bring better sustainability, to bring more profitability. You have to know where you're making your bets so you can go through this journey, making more efficient companies. That's the end of the day. That's what they want to achieve.
And how can Rockwell support them?
So the way we have been trying to approach, we build up a team in the region to support customers on their journey. So we take the advantage of the 100 years of experience we have as a company, and we're keeping adding consultant people that comes from the industry. So we're trying to merge industry knowledge with our automation and domain expertise knowledge, so we can go to those customers and be able to help them to their journey. And again, what we do is not that we come and tell customers this is what you should do. We don't try to play that role of a consultant that tell you what to do, but we try to go and support a customer to understand where you want to go. Right? It's almost like a coaching in a good way, like if you do with your child, right, or a friend or employee. You help them to understand what you want to do next. What is the problem you want to solve, and usually we help the customers going through that journey. And most of the time, we're seeing that when they go through this process from the beginning and not trying to do something without knowing what the problem we're trying to solve, it gets a much smoother journey as they go forward.
Okay, so it's more about firstly identifying what are the gaps, and then we work off what are your goals, and then in between is where you plan it out and figuring according to the industry needs, right? Because like you said, every industry has their own unique set of challenges and things they want to work on.
And what we see a lot of times, if you go to any given customers in any given country or industry, they have multiple stakeholders, right? So if I sit down with you, say I want to solve that problem. I sit with someone else, I want to solve a different problem. And what happens is that there's no decision about it. So what we help our customers is really of all those different problems they want to solve, which are the ones who are actually going to create value to the organization, right? So it's almost like bringing people together and understanding how to frame that. And we help them to understand what are the most impactful things that are simpler, so lower cost of investment, but bigger impact. And typically we recommend them to start with those. So the good thing about that, hopefully we try to get the smallest investment possible from the customer side with the bigger impact to them. And some customers, without doing that journey, they start big or they don't start at all because it's too big. I cannot afford that. So digital transformation doesn't have to be big and complex. It can actually be quite simple and impactful, and you use that return on investment to keep funding new projects to come. So it becomes like a good growth cycle of good things bringing, it's not a vicious cycle, it's the other way around. It's a positive cycle that growth creating return, which creates a more sustainable and competitive company.
Okay, so we've been talking about digital transformation, and alongside that, we see a lot of new and emerging technologies come out, right? So based on our latest edition of the State of Smart Manufacturing report, we see Gen AI pop up, we see machine learning, autonomous robots. So how should manufacturers think about implementing such technologies?
I think it goes very connected to what we're just talking a couple minutes ago with what problems we're trying to solve. So those technologies like Gen AI as an example, I think is on hype right now because we do that on every day. Everyone goes and ChatGPT, everywhere we're talking about AI, but what problem are we trying to solve? So we're talking, right now we just recently come with brought in AI, which is amazing technology, which is really we're seeing customers getting excited about because it's simple and solves a big problem. So the customers that are looking to have heavy machinery and those cost me a lot of my OPEX money to keep them running, they look at that and say, oh, this is a typical low cost of investment that creates a lot of value to them. So depending on the problem we're trying to solve. So we see a lot of traction in there. We see, since our acquisition of Auto and AMR, autonomous robots, there's a lot of need about that in this region, especially with the big discrete manufacturing have been growing rapidly throughout Southeast Asia. So those technologies are really aligned with the problems the customers want to solve. So it's not the technology for the technology. It's okay, are those technologies helping customers to solve problems? And a lot of them are perfectly fit to do it.
Okay, so it's more about first identifying what are the gaps, what are the needs, and seeing technology as an enabler for the workforce, right? It's not supposed to just be a complete replacement. I think that's another thing that's coming out. People are very afraid that, oh, does that mean that I could potentially lose my job? So what would you say to that?
It's quite the opposite. What we're seeing is that using those technologies are not replacing people, but they are changing the jobs that people have. So definitely there's going to be change in the job scope of a lot of people, and it's already happening today with all of us. But it's about us to helping the workforce to move from the existing tasks they're doing to much higher, I'll say higher end tasks, not because they are better tasks, but tasks that add a lot of value. So if you use our AMR, right, maybe you don't need someone to drive a forklift, but you need someone to do something else that can probably generate more value to the customer. And it's probably something more rewarding